Well, did they let you keep that Christmas sweater? Because I know Michael didn't get to keep the bat.
No, well, he broke every bat he touched, so I don't even know what he's talking about. I didn't ask to. I don't want to. I'd be happy to never see it again. I hate that sweater.
Really?
Yes.
That's too bad.
Just got stickier and stickier and stickier.
Just like you did.
Exactly. Fake blood is really sticky.
Well, I think this could be called The Empire Strikes Back of this Halloween trilogy.
Ooh.
Are you Han Solo?
I have to tell you something, and all your fans are gonna switch. I've never seen Star Wars.
Really?
I know. What a freak. I am American. I've never seen Star Wars or the Empire one or the one after, and then all the ones with that big character everyone hated, Jar Jar Binks. I know who that is, but I never, was he in, I don't know, I never saw any of them.
Well, I guess my only reason I brought that up was because it was kind of a sly way to say is, because I said you're the Han Solo, so is this a cliffhanger or is this not a cliffhanger in this movie?
I don't know. David Gordon Green doesn't tell me anything. Everyone who knows me knows I have a big mouth. So I don't get let in on future talks, discussions, secrets, nothing.
Well, what's interesting to me about this character being called Karen is in 2018, I don't think that name had the weight it does now.
I know. And I have a friend named Karen who's a very close friend of mine, and she's like legit thinking about legally changing her name. And I feel so bad for her because she's not like that. And then even sometimes when she does want to complain to me personally, privately, secretly about something, she even feels like she can't even do that. Yes, Karen has changed. The name of Karen has changed. But, you know, I was also in a show, if you've heard of Archer, I do a voice on Archer. And when we started Archer, the name of our spy agency was ISIS. And then those fuckers came and took over our name, and we had to change it to something else because stupid ISIS was like, no, we're ISIS and we're real and we're awful. So then we had to come up with a new name. So I feel like bad Karens like took over my good Karen name.
Well, that's the thing is in that first 2018 movie, I don't remember every time they said Karen, your name, it hitting like it does in this movie. It kind of adds something to the end of this that maybe wasn't intentionally there. Especially in the commentary where we see, you know, this big mob mentality that the movie's about. There's like a little extra weight just because your character has an unfortunate character name now.
I know. Well, we didn't plan it. And I feel like my Karen is like, she's not a tattletale.
No.
And she's right. I mean, she's right. Sorry.
Now, are you team Big John or team Little John?
Oh, those two. I gotta say I'm team Big John because he and I did a weird quarantine COVID movie together.
What was it? What was the movie?
It's called Shoot the Rooster. I don't think they've finished it yet, but we all did it from our house on you know, like Zoom. It's a Zoom movie basically. And so we had a ton of fun, like texting each other about Halloween. And I don't have a picture of it, but one of the days when he had the prosthetic eyes on, I had lunch with him like that. And it was really upsetting to eat sitting across from a person that has like prosthetic eyes poked out of their head.
Well, I thought you've seen the movie, right?
Yeah, isn't Big John the littler one? Scott MacArthur?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's interesting to me the way that Michael Myers decides to end that entire scene, because it's a little bit different than anything we've seen him do before.
Michael is very, I would say he's proud of his kill art, like his murder art. You know, he stages things very specifically, you know, the playground with the, you know, we lose the couple in the bar and Nancy, and like he does this like sort of beautiful way of staging his kills. So I think the way he stages Big John and Little John, it's It's very artistic.
I was gonna say, even more so than the 2018 movie, this movie really does open up Michael's artistic view on the world. I mean, he really is I guess you could call him a kill artist. I don't know if that's
like kill artist. Maybe you and I can just make that up right now.
yeah.
Like he is more violent. He's much angrier in this movie. I rewatched it yesterday with Jamie and David Gordon Green, and then we did a commentary. We recorded our commentary during the movie. So if you end up with a DVD or something, could be a fun thing to someday watch and listen to. But we talk a lot about how much more violent Michael is in this movie. You know, usually he would like stab someone once and they'd be dead and that would be it. And this, he's like stabbing, like, or he's like cutting and stabbing and poking and like, you know what I mean? Like he is not going to take any chances with anyone being left alive.
I was gonna say, that poor guy with the drone, he really wanted to test out what knife he wanted.
Should I take with me on my journey? I know.
Yeah, I was watching that. That was one of the more disturbing scenes I think I've seen in the entire franchise. And I was like, this is a really interesting insight into Michael Myers that I don't think we've gotten before.
Well, we can thank Christopher Nelson for that. He is our special effects makeup artist. He was with us on the first Halloween, and he and David come up with all the kills together. And a lot of it, I mean, Chris is a true artist and he's like a savant with this stuff. Like he's just brilliant at it. And he mostly just wants to do things that have never been seen before. He wants to do things that are exciting for him to do. You know, like he'd never seen anyone get stabbed in the armpit. So they really staged this whole scene with like Big John, like, and Scott MacArthur sells it, which is so great. Because watching it again yesterday, and I was like watching Scott like walk in the room, and it's like weird to put your arm up in a situation like that, but like he does, and then Michael's like, and you're like, oh. And that's Chris Nelson just wanting to make it sexy and fun.
I gotta say, the armpit was kind of crazy for me, but I guess if you go back to the original and the coat hanger scene and the behind the scenes like commentary why that coat hanger scene is in the movie, it kind of plays into that. I don't know if those guys are going that big with, you know,
they usually
metaphors.
Yeah, I feel like they do, but I haven't asked them specifically, but they tend to be really super nerdy about that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you were in the hospital and they are really screaming, evil dies tonight over and over again. How is that to come home out of that experience and get that just out of your brain? Because it almost has to be like you were in the middle of that for real.
It felt like I was in the middle of it for real. It was really scary. And there was a couple takes where I legit thought that we were going to get really trampled. And I did talk to Teddy, was our AD who was in charge of the background. And at one point I did have to take Teddy aside and be like, can you please just remind them really fast? Like, we're in a movie and we're like, they are like stepping on us a little bit. Like maybe they're acting too well. It was scary. I mean, and trying to protect Jamie and being caught up and that, it was so terrifying. And even though it was, you know, just a scene we were acting in, like it felt really real, and it felt like, wow, you could see how this could happen, and you could see how just like a few strong voices can really sway a group of people that are afraid, whatever their fear may be.
Now, last question before I leave. I want to know, where do you think Karen's legacy stands in the overall arc of the entire Halloween franchise, including the movies that perhaps aren't even tied into this timeline? Because to me, she seems like one of the biggest characters to come out of this franchise, despite just 2 movies in.
Thank you. I'd like to think so. That's a big question. I think like her legacy is, I don't know. I feel like family first, like I would like to think Karen was not going to let anyone take her family down. But I think a lot about, and especially since I've been talking about the movie, that what it feels like to look out that window that Michael looked out of, and what it means to look kind of back into yourself and like what you see, and that window is somehow like a mirror to people in this town of like what they have on their inside. And I don't know, instead of going out and killing, well, maybe it's maybe her legacy is to like look deep within yourself and find out what your own demons are. But then also she didn't believe her mom, and her mom was right. So she probably feels really shitty. So like maybe her legacy is like, maybe I should have listened to my mom.
Kind of like that. Listen to your mom. Halloween.
Yeah. Even if your mom is your stepmom, like me.